Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Melissa Rich, and I would like to welcome you to another episode of the Taking Care of Your Temple podcast. We're going to be talking about exercise today. In fact, the episode is called Divine Wellness, Experiencing God's Presence Through Physical Activity. And I really do believe that happens. And y'all who listen, you know I talk a lot about exercise. But this whole podcast is about health and wellness for women. And exercise is one of the ways to feel the best, to get the biggest bang for your buck on a consistent basis. So I do talk about it. And one of the reasons I talk about it a lot is because I was so resistant to working out for years. I did nothing. I mean, nothing. And I looked like it too, you could tell. And I just had to hear it a lot of times from a lot of different people before I finally reluctantly started to move more. So I know there are some of you out there like that now who are listening, who are just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this, but you kind of know that you need to. So I'm not trying to beat you over the head with a stick on it, but I do want you to hear it, at least listen. So let me back up a little bit. The objective of this podcast is to help women connect with God regularly and to use his grace, power, strength, might, wisdom, all the things to help improve their physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. And there are 4 principles that I recommend using in order to do this. The first one is to keep our focus on God. This sounds so basic, so easy, like, well, of course we would do that. Y'all, it is so hard to do. We are just surrounded by distractions everywhere, and it can be very difficult to keep our focus on God. So if you feel like you have to keep redoing it and getting yourself back on track and pulling yourself back in that direction, yeah, you're doing it right, because that's what we all have to do. The second principle is to acknowledge that we are not enough on our own. We are not smart enough, strong enough, capable enough, or anything else enough to do life on our own. Y'all, we need a lot of help. The good news is that God is perfectly willing to give us help if we ask him for it. So I ask all the time, like all day, what do I do here? What do you want me to do with this? I need help with that. I have no pride in that, because I know that when I try to do things on my own, and I've done that a lot in the past, it does not go well. So I really get God's help in everything. The third principle is to remember it is about progress, not perfection. God does not expect us, ladies, to be perfect. Thank goodness, huh? Because, yeah, we would all be disappointed. But he does want us to keep growing, to keep making progress. We're going to make mistakes. And a mistake is not a fatal thing as long as you learn from it and get better. That's what mistakes are for. I mean, apologize, make amends, do whatever you need to do, but then keep moving forward. Don't keep making the same mistakes. Don't be that person. And then the last principle is to work on consciously changing our thoughts. Our thoughts are hugely important. They make a big difference in determining what we do, how we think, how we act, how we feel. So if you are giving yourself a lot of very negative messages on a regular basis, it's going to affect you in a negative way. And the best thing to do is to recognize those thoughts and to replace them with positive ones. So the verse for this podcast is 1 Corinthians 3:16. Do you not know that you are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in you? All right, let me say a quick prayer for us before we go any further. Lord, thank you for letting me do this podcast. I just ask your blessings on the people who are listening. I just ask that what I'm about to say, I'll say it in the way that you want me to say, and that this will be helpful and encouraging to people listening. Thank you so much for loving us, Lord. Amen. Okay, so I want to start out by saying this is not at all what I intended to do today. My plan had been to record an episode with a guest, and we were supposed to do that at 10:30 this morning. It's now almost 2:00, and he had to reschedule because he had something come up with work. So we rescheduled to 2:00. Then he had to reschedule again because of something else from work. It wasn't his fault. There was nothing he could do. And so we finally rescheduled it for another day. So I had to come up with a last minute episode. And I've been thinking about doing another one on exercise anyway. I thought about doing it today, but sometimes the best laid plans of mice and men often go astray. It's a Scottish person, somebody who said that. I don't have the Scottish accent, but yes, sometimes you just have to be able to roll with the punches and realize Yep, I had this all very neatly and well planned out and gone. So we're doing something different. So, what I want to talk about are some exercises that you can do because, again, I just think it's so tremendously important that you know that exercise benefits you physically, right? Well, these are also ones that can benefit you uh, mentally, emotionally, physically, and really even spiritually. It's just good for your well being, period. Okay, so we're going to go. Some of these are not quite as well known. You wouldn't really think of them as an exercise per se. I think for me, growing up, when I thought of exercise, it was like you go to the gym, you lift a lot of weights, you grunt. I don't like grunting, so I don't do the gym very much. There's a lot of sweaty people around you. That's what working out is. And really, nowadays, there are so many other choices, which is so good. So, here are some that can really benefit you physically, but then in other ways as well. The first one is yoga. Yoga combines physical postures, breathing exercises, which are so good, and meditation to help you improve flexibility, strength, and mental clarity. It also can really reduce stress, which is a good thing for all of us, anxiety and depression, while helping us to feel relaxed and mindful. So I will tell you all up front, I've talked about this before, I don't do yoga. I think it's a great exercise. I wish I could. I am extremely physically unflexible. I don't even know if unflexible is a word, but you get what I'm saying. I've never been able to touch my toes. I work out a lot. Just yoga and flexibility exercises are not ones that I do. However, I did go to my first physical therapy session yesterday, and it was an aquatics center, which was cool because I grew up on swim teams. So that was fun. And maybe I'll, keep doing that and become a little bit more flexible. But yoga, if you like, squeezing yourself into a pretzel shape, which I cannot do at all, this may be a really good choice for you. And these are things that a lot of these you can do at home. Pilates is another one. I've had friends who love Pilates, who are crazy about it. I've never tried it. I do like it, focuses on core strength, flexibility, and just this kind of overall body awareness. It can improve posture, balance, coordination, and it can help reduce your risk of injury. I like the posture, improving posture. Y'all, I'm 66, and when I was growing up, I literally remember my mom making me walk standing up straight with a book on my head for posture. Anybody else remember that? Am I the only one? I may be. But you had to walk around so you could do it without the book falling off every 2 seconds. And I got pretty good at it. And I still have, to this day, pretty good posture. And it's probably because I walked around with a book on my head. Now I just have a book in my hand all the time because I love to read so much. Walking. Walking is a very low impact exercise. And we can all incorporate that into our lives because honestly, we all know how to walk. You don't need a lot of special equipment. And for somebody who is just starting out exercising, this is almost always where they will tell you to start walking. And I like it because you can stroll. I walk my two little dogs every morning. And then usually after I am done walking them, I walk me. Because when I walk them, we stop, we sniff, we pee. And, it's more like an amble. It is not a brisk walk for exercise. So usually I walk them for about 20 minutes, drop them off at home, give them a treat, unleash them, and then I go walk me. And I do not stop to sniff and scratch and pee, So I make better time and I actually get some exercise going. But walking is just so good because you can be very leisurely, you can be a kind of a brisk, or you can really be moving at a pretty fast clip. And you need outside space. You can even walk inside. I've done that before too. So it's just a good all around thing. Dancing. Here's another one that I do not do because I am not very coordinated. I always tell people I have too many Southern Baptist genes. I do. For dancing, you can do Zumba, ballet, hip hop, or ballroom. It improves cardiovascular fitness, coordination, and mood while providing a creative outlet for self-expression. And that's if, you can self-express well that way. I do not. So again, I don't do this one, but we are all different. And I know there are some of you listening out there who probably are great at dancing, and you may not ever have thought, oh, this could be a way that I could work out. It absolutely can. Strength training. I've done this one before. These are things like lifting weights or body weight exercises, push-ups, squats, where you use your body as that counterweight, or lunges. Yeah, we're not going to talk about squats much because I hate squats, but they're good for you. They are very good for you. Cycling. This is a really good cardiovascular workout, strengthens your lower body muscles and improves endurance. And you can do it outside, obviously, on a bicycle riding around, which is great because you get all that fresh air. You can also do it on a stationary bike indoors. And I think now, I know I've seen some of those classes that they have on like a computer screen, where even though you're on a stationary bike, you're seeing the scenery whiz past you because it's a computerized. Don't ask me to explain, but it's pretty cool. So you can do some of that as well. And now with cycling, you do need to remember, it's like I had to remind myself about running and walking. It's great for lower body, does not always do much for upper body. So you may need to add on some upper body things if you are just doing the cycling. Swimming. I know I say this all the time. Swimming is such a good whole body exercise, and it is so easy on your joints. The water cushions you, and you are working upper and lower body at the same time as you work out, and it's just great. And you don't feel, I don't feel, I should say, I guess, as tired when I do that, even though it's a good workout. And I also like it because I don't like sweating, y'all. I know I live in Texas. I don't like getting all hot and sweaty. Well, in a pool, you don't do that. I mean, if you are sweaty, you can't tell because you're wet. So I just love swimming. I think it's a good way to work out. Mindful walking or running. Combining exercise with mindful techniques can give you some mental and emotional benefits as well. You can just like focus on the feeling of every step or the rhythm of your breathing to help you just be more present and to reduce stress. I mean, all these things work. Tai Chi. I've never tried this one. I've wanted to. It's a kind of a gentle, slower form of martial arts. There's slow flowing movements and deep breathing. You usually see like senior citizens doing this outside with somebody leading the class. It improves balance, flexibility, and relaxation, and it improves your mood. It reduces your anxiety so you feel happier, especially if you're outside, you're moving, you're with other people, and you're exercising. Yeah, it's going to make you feel better. And then another one is any type of group fitness class. These are good because you are not only moving and getting physical movement, you are getting the camaraderie of being with other people, and that gives you some mental and emotional benefits. So any type of group class that you find, if it sounds good to you, give it a shot. See if you like it. If you don't, you can always do something else. Okay, so I want to talk about sometimes we don't want to or don't have the time to go out somewhere to a class. Maybe if you live alone, which is what I do, I don't want to go out after dark by myself and come back after dark to the house. So I have a lot of things that I do at home, and this may be helpful to some of you. Also, I'm going to go over some things that you can do at home. And all of these have minimal equipment. This is not like you don't have to have a full gym in your house to do these. So one is body weight squats. You don't need any equipment. You stand with your feet shoulder width apart. You squat down as if you're sitting back down into a chair and then return to standing. Y'all, I hate squats. They are really good for you. I try to avoid them whenever possible, but they really are good exercise. Another one is push-ups. You don't need any equipment at all to do this. You just need to get down on the floor in a plank position, your hands shoulder width apart, and you lower your body until your chest almost touches the floor and then push back up again. And keep doing that. Lather, rinse, and repeat. Lunges. I don't mind this one as much. It's another one that doesn't need any special equipment. You step forward with one leg, you lower your body until both knees are at this 90-degree angle, return to standing position, and then do it on the other leg. Let's see. Another one would be jumping jacks. I used to do these as a kid in gym class. I still love jumping jacks. Feet together, then jump wide. Bring your arms together. I think we all know how to do jumping jacks. That's a good one. I will say on this one, if you are a woman and you are fairly well endowed, get a good running bra or exercise bra before you do this. Otherwise, you're going to possibly do yourself some damage. Okay, what else? resistance band exercises. I started doing these lately and really like them because they, especially your arms, they really do work them. So I like those, and you can do curls and seated rows, and resistance bands are really affordable and portable. In fact, for those of you who are looking, you have a video, this is a resistance band, and there's all different kinds that you can get. And I keep it in the drawer of my desk because sometimes I will work out here at my office, especially if I have like 20 minutes, I'll do a workout. Then yoga. A yoga mat is helpful, not required, but you can do different positions. I've heard of downward dog. I think if I tried to do that, literally I would fall over. But anyway, and then some type of a cardio circuit where you do one exercise, 2 or 3 reps. Come over here, you do a different exercise, 2 or 3 reps. You just kind of go around and do it. You can do that at home. You don't have to go anywhere. And to me, that makes me feel more secure. Okay. So I wanted to also look at different exercises that target specific body areas because we all have specific areas of concern. Mine is usually like my stomach. My lower body, again, is in pretty good shape because I run and walk a lot. I'm on my rebounder. Those type of things I do. I get a lot of steps in. It is right at 2 o'clock here, and I have had already 12,402 steps is what I've taken so far. I usually get about 18 to 19,000 steps a day. So let's look at, so for me, again, my lower body is in pretty good shape. I usually need to work on my upper body. And a lot of times if I'm walking, I will get a resistance band and just start, pulling it apart just to get my back and my arms to get some exercise. Okay, so if you want to work on your core, you can do some leg raises. I grew up doing these. You lie down on your back with your legs straight, lift your legs up toward the ceiling, lower them back down without touching the floor. That will really work on your core. Another one that really is good for your core is the Simply Fit board. I've had one of these for the past couple of years. I found this on Shark Tank. I don't know if y'all ever watched that. And I like it because a mother and daughter invented it. It's this molded plastic board. It's shaped kind of like a U shape. I'm trying to get up where I can see it. Anyway, you stand on each end and then you twist on it. You have to do it on a rug or a carpet. Don't do it on bare floor. And it really works your core. And you could just go to simplyfitness.com, I think is what it is. And they invented it because the mother, as I recall, was getting older and couldn't do a lot of these really vigorous, intense exercises. So they wanted to come up with something that would still give her a good workout, but that wasn't that demanding. And this is what they came up with. And it's been hugely successful. So Simply Fit board, that's another really good one. Cardio. If you want to get some cardio, get your heart beating, moving, here are some exercises that are good. Jumping jacks. We talked about those earlier. High knees. This is where you stand in place and you just lift your knees up as high as you can get them while you're kind of moving your arms. It's kind of like stepping in place, but getting your knees up really high. It gets your heart definitely going more. Burpees. I don't think I could even begin to do those, and I'm not going to try to explain it to you. But if you're curious, you can do an online search for burpees and it will show up. Running or jogging in place or outside. That is also another really good one for cardio to get yourself going. If you want upper body, push-ups. We talked about the plank position. This is a really good one to just strengthen your whole upper body. Pull-ups or chin-ups. If you have a pull-up bar, you just pull on it and just lift yourself up over the bar. That will work your core. Dumbbell rows where you bend over, you have a dumbbell in each hand, and you just pull them up towards your torso while you keep your elbows close to your body. You're just basically lifting weights. And you can get a weight bench, I think is what they call it, where you can put one knee and hand down on that, or you can just use a chair. But again, I'm trying to go over things that don't need a lot of equipment. Okay, strength training. Again, the dreaded squats. Those are definitely good for strength training. Lunges, chest press, anything that really helps you. Probably anything where you are lifting weights in any way is going to be good for strength training. So let me just simplify it there. And if you have never worked out with weights before, I highly recommend, don't just start doing it. You could hurt yourself. Go online. And I always just Google, although this type of thing, I'd go to YouTube. You can find out how to do anything on YouTube, and just do a search on YouTube for upper body strength training for women in their 60s or whatever it is. And they'll come up with some, I promise. And that way you can watch it and make sure that you are doing it correctly. Don't just, like I said, try to figure it out on your own, because you could end up doing some damage. Okay. Endurance training. You want to really build up your endurance. Running or jogging. That is one of the best things that you can do. Cycling, again, indoors on a stationary bike or outside, especially if you live in a neighborhood that has hills. You really are going to feel a difference in your fitness if you do that. Swimming laps. Oh, such good endurance. I grew up on swim teams. I've mentioned this several times. Then again, the circuit training. All of those are good for building up endurance. Okay, what if you want to work on your flexibility? That's what I need to be working on. Well, yoga is really good. Any type of yoga. Static stretching, where you hold the stretches for major muscle groups for 15 to 30 seconds to improve flexibility. And again, if you don't know what you're doing, get some help. At least get some videos you can use as a guideline. Pilates again, and foam rolling. I've not tried this one. You use a foam roller to release tension in muscles and improve flexibility through these release techniques. Again, anything you're not sure of, try to find a training video. They're out there. Okay, so I want to give you some benefits of some of these. Walking or hiking. This can improve cardiovascular health. It can improve your mood, because when you are out there walking or hiking, your body is producing endorphins. Endorphins are the feel-good chemicals of our body. So the more you do that, really, the better you are going to feel. It also will increase vitamin D production, because you're getting sunlight if you're doing it outside. And it can provide opportunities for socializing and exploring nature. I'm amazed at, when I get out and walk, how many people I see out walking. Or if you go to a park, there's a ton of people. So you end up talking to people and, admiring their dog, or they're talking about your dog. And so getting out and walking is a really good way to actually connect with other people, not just for exercise for you. Cycling. Cycling outdoors provides a low impact cardio workout, which is good. I remember when aerobic classes first became a thing, and everybody was doing aerobic classes. So I thought, okay, I'll try this, because I had several friends who did it and loved it. I tried 1 or 2 classes, hated it. Absolutely hated it. And I will say part of that was because it was a large group, and I discovered I don't like exercising in a large group. I like doing it by myself. But the other thing for me was that back when it first started, and I know I'm dating myself, we were doing aerobics on a concrete floor. There was no, like, the padded floors that they have now. And so it was like, ow, ow, ooh, ah, ooh. And my knees and my ankles were killing me. So I would go to like half a class and I'm like, yeah, I'm done here. That did not work for me. But if you're doing it on a good floor, it'll be good. Outdoor yoga. When you do yogas outdoor, you are going to get the physical benefits, plus the mental and emotional benefits of connecting with nature. And I don't know if y'all have ever seen this, but I've never tried it. But goat yoga, it is a thing. I'm not making it up. And you do yoga with goats climbing all over you. It doesn't sound that attractive to me, honestly, although the goats are cute, I will say, but people love it. So you might look that up if you don't believe me. Goat yoga, and you might like it. I have seen also yoga done on the beach, and of course, I'm like anything done on the beach. I would try that. That would be great. So there are benefits to that. Swimming. So swimming in natural bodies of water or outdoor pools gives you a full body workout with minimal impact on your joints. And that is something that as I get older, I am more careful with. I used to run a lot more, and just do a little bit of rebounding, which I'll be talking about in a minute. Now I do a lot more rebounding and not that much running outdoors because it's just harder on my joints. So I've kind of switched. What else? What else? Oh, beach volleyball. Yeah, I grew up on the beaches, and so this was a thing. I wasn't ever good enough at volleyball to be really invited to be on a team, but this engages multiple muscle groups, including legs, arms, core, while improving agility, coordination, and cardio fitness. It's also a social activity. Again, you are getting some teamwork in, you're connecting with other people, so it can be a lot of fun. Kayaking or canoeing. This will provide you a full body workout, and it's going to strengthen your arms, shoulders, back, and core muscles. This is more upper body than some of the others we've talked about that are lower body. So if you're doing a lot of lower body, you may want to put kayaking or rowing on there because that would be helpful. Rock climbing. Benefits. Outdoor rock climbing challenges both your physical and mental strength. It requires upper body and core strength, balance, flexibility, along with problem-solving skills. I mean, you have to sit there and look at this wall that you're climbing or rock wall and think, where do I put my next hand? Where is my foot going to go? Yeah, so there's definitely some skills going on. It builds muscle strength, improves coordination, boosts confidence, and is fun for a lot of people. I see I would be the one at the bottom going, oh, be careful, watch where you put your hand. But anyway, let's see. Nature walks or bird watching. I can't talk today. Bird watching. This is where you're taking leisurely walks in nature while you're watching birds, and it gives you some physical activity while reducing stress, anxiety, and mental fatigue. This one is not a very fast one. It's not a paced one. It's a more leisurely, relaxed, enjoy the setting, look at the birds, and there's a place for that as well. You're not going to get as much physical exercise out of this one, but boy, this has great mental and emotional benefits. So I do recommend it. It's fun. I put a bird feeder on my back patio about a week or so ago, and I may have to move it because I haven't seen that many birds on it, but it's fun. It's fun to watch them. Okay, so I want to go through, how are we doing on time? Okay, we're good. I want to look at some benefits of some kind of different exercises. And one is hula hooping. Hula hooping is really good for core strength. If you need to work on your core, get a hula hoop. It helps with the muscles of your core, abdominals, your obliques, your lower back, and it helps strengthen and train those muscles. It also enhances coordination and balance. It burns calories. It really does. And I have a small house. I don't like to hula hoop outside, especially in the summer, or the cold either. And I was hitting things when I tried to do it in my living room. But what I found, y'all, a client told me about this. It's like I don't even know what you call it. It's not a full hula hoop. You put this like belt around you and you're doing the hula hoop motions, but there's this thing that fastens into the belt. It has a ball on it, and it's going around your body. It's a modified hula hoop, but it is so good. I do that for a few minutes, and I can tell that I have been doing it. So if you want to work on your core, that's a great way to do it. Jumping rope. Anybody grow up jumping rope? I know I did, out on the playground, and I loved it. I wasn't great at it, but I was pretty good. But this is a great cardio exercise that improves heart health, endurance, and stamina. It also burns a lot of calories because you are moving, honey. And it really is good for your coordination and your agility because you have to coordinate and time things between your feet and your hands. And it's also, for those of you who are getting older, it's good for bone density. The impact of jumping rope can help maintain or improve bone density, and it reduces the risk of osteoporosis and promotes skeletal health. That was cool. Rebounding or mini trampoline exercise. I've talked about this one before, y'all. I have done rebounding for years. Has so many benefits. It provides a low impact because you're not just like hitting the pavement, you're hitting the trampoline and it gives. And so it's just such a much better way to do it. Where was I? Yes, it's gentle on the joints. So it's good if you have joint pain or if you're recovering from injuries. Joint pain, not joint pain. It is good for your lymphatic system health. I love this one. Bouncing on a mini trampoline stimulates the lymphatic system. It helps to flush out toxins and waste products from the body and improve immune system. It's also good for balance and stability. You have to stay centered over it, and you kind of have to work at it, but it's fun and it's a good stress relief. Bouncing on a mini trampoline is just a fun way to exercise, and it helps you just feel good. I always feel better after I jump on my little trampoline. And when I first started doing this, I did it for a couple of years before I finally thought, I'm going to look this up and see, is this a thing? Is it good for me? And it is. It is very good for you. There's all kinds of benefits. And I had thought for a while, it feels like my allergies are even better when I jump like this. And I thought it was just my imagination. No, it's not. It's good for like every system in your body. So I highly recommend rebounding. What else? Rollerblading, if any of y'all are brave enough to do that. It's a cardiovascular workout. It improves heart health, endurance, and stamina. It's also good for balance and flexibility. It is really good for your leg muscles and for your rear end. Good for coordination, and it can be fun indoors or outdoors. I met someone the other day who said that she was what do they do when they roller skate? It's inline skating indoors, and they're like knocking people down. It's a team. I can't remember what it is. But anyway, yeah, it can be a fun thing. All right, some other benefits. I want to talk about some water exercises. Water walking, low impact exercise. So good, gentle on your joints. So it's suitable for people who have arthritis, joint pain, or mobility issues because the buoyancy of the water reduces stress on your joints. It also improves your cardiovascular health. Walking in water provides resistance against the muscles, which increases your heart rate, and it promotes heart health and circulation. I always say when you exercise in water, you're double exercising. You're moving, but you're also moving against the water. And so you're getting that exercise as well. It is so, so good for you. Cannot emphasize it enough. It also strengthens your muscles. It's a whole body exercise. If you're walking and moving your arms back and forth as you walk, so good. And it enhances balance and stability. Then swimming laps, which is so good if you can do this. Another whole body exercise. So you have multiple muscle groups working out at the same time. And it just strengthens muscles everywhere, arms, legs, back, shoulders, core. It elevates your heart rate, so it's good for cardiovascular fitness. And another low impact exercise that is gentle on the joints. So it's not gonna hurt you. So I love that. Let's see. And then water aerobics. Another one that's low impact. It supports your body. It reduces stress on the joints. And if you're doing a water aerobics class, again, then you're getting the benefit of a group activity. You're doing it with other people. So it is fun. Okay. So overall, water exercises such as water walking, swimming laps, and water aerobics, I really can't talk, offer numerous physical and mental health benefits, including improved cardiovascular health, muscle strength, joint flexibility, and stress relief. So really, if you are going to work out and you haven't for a while, and you don't want to hurt yourself, and you're not sure where to start, and you have access to a pool, think about doing something in the water. And even if you don't know how to swim, you can get a kickboard that you can hold on to. You can even put it put your chest or your stomach on top of it so you're kind of resting on it, and then just move your legs. Then you can also get some things that will, I don't know what they call them even, but you fasten them onto your legs so your legs will hold up, and then you can just do your arms. You can dog paddle. There is so much you can do in the water. It is such good exercise, and it is not going to hurt your joints or your muscles. It's the best. Okay, y'all, this was a very last minute episode, but it's one I had been wanting to do for a while. And I hope this was helpful to you because honestly, I really can't emphasize enough how many benefits exercise has. Exercise gives you mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual benefits. You feel better all the way around. And really, the title of this podcast is Taking Care of Your Temple. We are God's temple. We are part of it. And if we are not taking care of our temple, we're not going to be in the kind of shape that we need to be in order to do the things that God is leading us to do. So I really think it is so important to do this. You feel better. You function better. I promise you now, I exercise every day. I think I said I get between 18 to 20,000 steps every day. I am moving all day. I feel and function better now at 66 than I did in my 30s, because in my 30s, I was not doing anything. I mean, walking from the kitchen to the living room, that was about it. I was not moving much. So I feel better now, and it's never too late to get the benefits of exercise. I promise. If you are not doing it, start. And you don't have to spend a lot of money. All these things that I talked about, most of them you can do at home with very little money. I mean, you may need to buy a jump rope. Now, obviously, if you are going to do water exercises, you need to have access to a pool, but join your YMCA. Or, make a friend of somebody who has a pool. Have them let you come over. Okay. So along with this podcast and Waco Hypnosis Center, and I'm not doing a Waco fun fact today, I am available for public speaking. If you're interested in having me for an event, you can contact me through my website at www.drmelissarich.com or email me at info@drmelissarich.com. So if y'all enjoyed this episode, and I hope it was helpful, I would love for you to follow the podcast, write me a review, or share the episode. That would be awesome. Thank you so much for listening, and everyone have a good day, and I hope that I will see you next time. Bye.